Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am RVBSHARD. We are on day 3 of E3. This is going to be part 1 of a 2-part video, because there was a lot of shit to deal with, and I don't have time to do all of the conferences from yesterday in the one big fucking video. So, we're going to be dealing with Square Enix and Ubisoft today. Excuse me. So we're going to jump straight into Square Enix's conference. We're going to do pros and cons. First up, pros. It was fucking short. Like, it was 30 minutes. So that was a relief because they had not a lot going for them. The other pro would be the narration and the sort of art style they were rolling with for the whole show, which the narration was done by Keith David. Great actor, great voice actor, so that prevented me from falling asleep. So that was a bonus. But other than that, they didn't really have any other pros. I'm going to be honest. It was very dull. So we'll move on to cons very quickly, because their show was 30 minutes, so it isn't even worth 3 minutes of my time. They had very little to show. They showed the new Tomb Raider, and they said it was gameplay, but I'm not entirely convinced that it wasn't just in-game engine footage. But it's Tomb Raider, you know, Lara Croft. Jungle, stabbing, shooting, traps, quick time events. Same old, same old. They had 2 new expansions for Final Fantasy Online. The new one, not the old one. Personally, I'm still pissed at Square Enix for not making the older Final Fantasy game free to play in order to keep up with the way subscriptions are going. They're still charging for that on their stupid Play Online platform, which is dumb. But, yeah, I'm not really a big Final Fantasy guy anymore. Like, I was played in the original game, when it was just like Final Fantasy and WoW. Not really jumped into an MMO in a long time, so that wasn't really a big thing for me. They did mention a Monster Hunter Final Fantasy crossover event. I'm not exactly sure how that would work, or what it's going to do, or what it's going to look like, but whatever. I mean, it's something, isn't it? They showed another game from the Life is Strange universe called The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, I think it was. I don't really know. I don't play the Life is Strange games. It doesn't really appeal to me. Doesn't scream anything to me. I like my games to be full of explosions or scares or fucking, you know, adventure and shit like that. I don't really want to deal with the inside of a small boy's mind, because I've been there. I was a wee whippersnapper back in my day, and I don't really want to revisit those times. So, yeah. They also showed like a trailer for a new Dragon Quest game. Again, not something I'm really interested in at all. The fact that I didn't grow up with a Nintendo DS or any other handheld. I mean, I was a PSP kid, and I still have my PSP Fat to this day, and I still use it. So it wasn't really that much worth shouting about. They did have like 2 new IPs that I saw that they showed trailers for. Again, 0 fucking gameplay. That's the big con here. 0 gameplay of anything. I think it was Babylon Falls and Octopath Traveler. The Babylon Falls I don't know anything about, because they only showed like a gameplay, not even a gameplay, just a teaser trailer. The Octopath Traveler just kind of looks like a quasi 2.5D RPG in the sort of the style of the old Final Fantasies. So I'm not really sure on any of this shit. So yeah, the other big disappointment was they said absolutely nothing about Final Fantasy, this Final Fantasy VII remake that they're supposed to be doing, the HD reboot. I can see why people are pissed about it. Personally, I don't like Final Fantasy VII. I was a Final Fantasy VIII guy and Final Fantasy IX. So if you're going to hate on me for not liking fucking Cloud, fuck off, I like Squall. He has a gun blade. Suck my fucking dick. Alright? It's a gun and a sword, and it goes bang. I like it. Plus, Final Fantasy IX was awesome because Vivi was like the best character ever. So, That's my personal opinion, so you don't have to agree with me. But that's it. There was really nothing there. I would say that the rating for their show, because they basically phoned it in. There wasn't actually a conference. There wasn't actually developers there talking about their games, showing any form of passion or engagement with the audience. So they really did phone it in. I'm going to give them a C minus. The only reason it's not a D is Keith David's narration and the fact that it was so brutally short that it stopped me from falling asleep. That's it. Alright, so we'll move on to Ubisoft, and oh fucking boy, Ubisoft. Clearly you guys did not get the memo. All the other shows, even EA's show, as fucking horrible as it was, the teeth-pullingly, agonizingly slow bullshit that EA trickled out, did not have as much filler as their show did. And it seems like all the other shows sort of got together and says, look, let's stop doing this fucking stupid bullshit of bringing out a car, or having celebrities on stage, or fucking pointless events that mean nothing and have nothing to do with the games that we're trying to show. Ubisoft clearly did not get that memo, because they started their show with, I shit you not, about 8 minutes of a guy in a furry panda suit dancing alongside a myriad of bizarrely dressed characters who are supposed to represent avatars from Just Dance, and a fucking marching band. At what point and what acid trip was the person who planned that shit on to think, yeah, let's start the E3 conference with a fucking marching band? It's not beer, it's iron brew. So, my country's major export, besides whiskey and alcoholism. Oh. Anyway, so they started off bizarrely. They did hit on a few of their games, in no particular order. They showed a new Assassin's Creed, which looked interesting. Again, I'm still alarmed at the pace that Assassin's Creed games come out at. Like, they are thrown out at us. And in the sense of pros and cons, though, I need to get over the initial fucking, oh my god, why was a marching band there? Pros, I'll say, is they did have content. They showed games. They did have some gameplay. I'm not saying loads, but they had some. So that was a bonus. You did have some of the developers coming out and talking about their games briefly and engaging with the crowd. So that was, again, a plus. I'm trying to think if there was really any other pluses to that conference, and I can't actually think it. There was a lot more cons. The cons in the conference were just simply the fact that sorry, I'm drawing a blank here momentarily. Fuck, I just watched it too. Oh my god. Yeah, sorry, that's it. A lot of the content that they were coming out with, that they were showing on their show, had already kind of been spoiled by other shows. Like, we knew about The Division 2. We knew about Beyond Good and Evil 2. We knew, pretty much that there was going to be an Assassin's Creed. But it was kind of meh. To be honest, I enjoyed the sections where they actually showed gameplay. I was kind of irked by parts of it. Again, there was a lot of fucking filler that didn't really need to be there. Like, they had the guy who worked on Trials. Now, if anybody's played Trials Fusion or Trials Riders or whatever, it's basically a fucking dirt bike game where you go over obstacles and try not to die. Now, I played that game personally when it was back on Miniclip for free on a browser, you know, and I do like the fact that it's got some funding, and it's got big, and it's got huge, and it's got a following, but the guy came in riding a fucking motorbike, and then he crashed into the fucking podium, and then had a bunch of fucking E3 Ubisoft pansies sweeping it up for him. You know, it's fucking stupid. It was pointless, and it didn't really add anything to the announcement of the game. It's Trials, big whoop. You know, if you've played one, you've played them all. Um, the other fucking stupid thing was, they announced. I don't even know if it's a. I couldn't even tell if it was a standalone game or a DLC for the Raving Rabbits Mario crossover that they did last year, working with Nintendo, and it was basically like they added Donkey Kong to the game. I was like, oh, fine, okay, like you're adding an extra character, an iconic character from the partnership that you have with Nintendo. Great, love it. But the weird thing was they brought out a fucking band. Like there was a drummer, there was a keyboardist, there was a fucking violinist, there was a fucking I I I don't know, but they were playing music live in time with the demo presentation behind them. It was a trailer. It wasn't even gameplay. It was a fucking trailer. And I was like, why the hell did you have live music there? What was the point in that? I mean, the thing is, these people would have practiced this. They would have done this for days to get this shit right. And I'm like, it really didn't feel like it was necessary, is what I'm saying. The other stuff they showed, we got more information on Division 2. They brought out more stuff for Rainbow Six Siege, and they're bringing out DLC for Honor. But to be honest, it was kind of, a lot of it was lackluster. A lot of it was stuff that we knew was going to happen anyway. I was surprised, to be honest, that they were continuing DLC for Honor after the backlash that game got. But to be fair, Ubisoft has a reputation of launching broken games, but then sticking with them and fixing them, like what happened with the original Division. It launched broken as hell, but was periodically fixed, and Ubisoft stuck with it, and they didn't abandon the game, and now it's actually really fun and playable. So it gives me hope for the Division 2, but again, Ubisoft's track record is launching broken shit. That's kind of what they do. So it's definitely not a company that I'm going to be investing like day one in. The new Assassin's Creed, like I said, looked interesting. I mean, to be honest, it's probably one of the ones that I would buy, because I'm interested in that time period of ancient Greece and the Spartans and things like that. The last one I didn't buy because I couldn't give a fuck about Egypt. It doesn't do anything for me. Same with the steampunk London one I never bought, like Syndicate or whatever the fuck. I never bought that because I couldn't give a fuck about the time period. I didn't care. It didn't interest me even remotely. I'm trying to think, is there anything else they mentioned? Oh yeah, they came out with, they mentioned it last year. Starlink is basically like a sort of spaceship, kind of like a No Man's Sky light, where you're flying around, where you can go into planets, scan things, fight enemies, blah blah blah. But they had this little fucking thing where it was like, oh, you can build up, you can buy our models and then put fucking equipment on the models and put the model on the controller, and then your in-game ship will change according to what you've bought and plugged into it. Which is basically just like fucking, they saw amiibos and went, yep, let's do that, let's put it on steroids and let's just be dicks about it. Because I get marketing, I get people like wanting to buy shit from their favorite video games or make stuff from their favorite video games, but Ubisoft was kind of being a cunt. And again, the caveat to that was, again, with their partnership with Nintendo, they added Star Fox to the game, which suits the game because it is a sort of third-person spaceship shooter. So it works in that regard, but it's going to be a Nintendo exclusive. So, buy the game on the Switch, I guess. But other than that, the fucking conference was just overly long for what little it actually had to show for itself. And again, with that filler, those stupid fucking interruptions, and then at the end, they had like everybody who was on stage previously coming back out to more Just Dance music, and it felt really forced, and like Ubisoft just still hasn't got the message that E3 is meant to be about the games and just the games. No filler, none of your bullshit, no merchandising. Just give the players what they want to see, which is trailers and gameplay and an announcement of features and DLC. That's what they want. The other stuff, they will find if they want it. They will go looking for it. They will search for merchandise. They will search for, TV series and stuff that will be linked to your stuff. The only thing I can say personally that I was relieved at was they weren't throwing out another fucking Watch Dogs. They did also the crew. I just remember the crew too. But again, racing isn't my thing, so I wasn't all that fussed about it. If I want to race, I'll just jump in GTA 5. But that's it. Yeah. So for Ubisoft's conference, I would probably give it like a C+. There was more content there. There was gameplay, which is a definite bonus. But again, way too much filler, way too much bullshit. They didn't really try all that hard to break from the mold of the other shows that they've done. It felt very samey. But yeah, we'll see how they deal with it. They did mention that For Honor is free for the next week. So if you go into their Uplay, you can pick it up and play it and buy it. Well, not buy it. It's free. You get the starter edition. So it's yours forever. And then, of course, they want you to jump in and play the new DLC and stuff. So that's a bonus, I guess. And there is a beta for Division 2 at some point. I'm going to try and get into that. But yeah. C+. Nothing that blew my mind. Nothing that was overly amazing. They, again, didn't show any gameplay for Beyond Good and Evil 2, which was a big draw. It was just another fucking pre-rendered CG trailer. It's not enough, guys. It really isn't. But anyway, that's it, guys. Remember, I'll be doing the next part of this video tomorrow, which is going to be the PC Gaming Show and Sony. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about there. I actually have to go watch them now, and then film the video. So yeah, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Remember, please comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what games you're looking forward to. Basically what you think of this year's E3. Because I'm just giving you my opinion. You guys need to make up your own minds. But yeah, I'll catch you later. Peace out. Catch you on the flip.